AP Biology, accept that you'll be drawing plant cells at 3 a.m., memorize the Krebs cycle even though you'll forget it, and never ever touch your lab partner's petri dishes unless you want to restart your experiment for the 5th time. AP Chemistry, buy safety goggles that actually fit your face. Write down every single equation your teacher ever mentions, and when in doubt during labs, just say precipitation reaction with absolute confidence while nodding thoughtfully. AP Physics, stop asking when will we ever use this in real life, because the answer is never. Befriend someone who owns a graphing calculator that can basically solve the problems for you, and always include units or lose half your points. AP Calculus AB, complete every single practice problem even when they're not assigned, except that derivatives are actually the easy part, and keep a box of tissues nearby for when you encounter your first related rates problem. AP Calculus BC, understand that sleep is now optional. Learn to love Taylor series even though they make no sense, and remember that everyone else is suffering too, which won't help you, but at least you're not alone. AP Statistics, don't let the basic math fool you. This class is trying to kill you with word problems. Use StatCrunch for everything, and when calculating probability, always assume your answer is wrong and do it again. AP Computer Science A, save your code every 5 minutes, put semicolons everywhere just to be safe, and expect to spend more time fixing errors than actually writing new code. AP Computer Science Principles, realize this is basically a glorified tech literacy class. Ace the multiple choice by saying algorithms are important, and make your final project look fancy even if it barely works. AP English Language, use the word juxtaposition at least once in every essay. Read the news occasionally so you have real-world examples, and remember that the correct answer is always the author's use of diction creates a tone. AP English Literature, highlight random passages in every book so it looks like you read it. Learn to connect any symbol to death or rebirth, and practice writing at hyperspeed because 3 essays in 2 hours is basically impossible. AP US History, accept that you'll have dreams about the Monroe Doctrine, create a timeline of everything that ever happened in America, and develop hand exercises to prevent cramping during the DBQ. AP World History, make friends with someone who's good at making flashcards. Focus on broad patterns instead of specific names and dates, and always remember that the Mongols are the exception to every historical rule. AP European History, create mnemonic devices for remembering which king came after which. Understand that most European conflicts were basically family drama, and learn to talk about the Black Death while eating lunch. AP Psychology, test every theory on your friends and family, memorize parts of the brain by making a hat shaped like one, and never self-diagnose based on what you learn. You don't have all those disorders. AP Economics, draw supply and demand curves until you can do them in your sleep. Pretend to understand the Federal Reserve even though no one really does, and invest exactly $0 based on what you learn. AP Government, actually watch the news sometimes. Memorize all 27 amendments because they'll definitely be on the test, and accept that learning how a bill becomes a law won't help you understand why nothing gets done in Congress. AP Environmental Science, prepare to feel guilty about every plastic bottle you've ever used. Learn the difference between weather and climate to argue with your climate-denying uncle, and don't get emotional during the unit on endangered species. AP Art History, accept that you'll need to memorize over 250 works of art. Create ridiculous stories connecting artists to their work, the weirder, the better for memory, and always be able to identify the contrapposto stance in sculptures. AP Music Theory, record your teacher's lectures because you'll definitely miss something important. Practice intervals until you hear them in your dreams, and accept that you'll never hear pop music the same way again. AP Spanish Language, watch telenovelas and claim it's studying. Speak Spanish to yourself in the shower to practice, and prepare for the listening section by playing recordings at 2 times speed just to torture yourself. AP Chinese Language, accept that your handwriting will never be as good as your teacher wants it to be. Practice typing pinyin faster than humanly possible, and learn to recognize characters by looking at them upside down and from across the room. AP Latin, translate Virgil's Aeneid so many times that you start thinking in Latin. Accept that noun cases will haunt your dreams. And remember that veni, vidi, vici won't help you on the tests, but it's the only Latin phrase your friends know. AP Research, start your research project the day it's assigned, not 3 months later. Pick a topic you actually care about since you'll be living with it all year, and make friends with your school librarian immediately. AP Seminar, accept that you'll do 90% of your group's work. Practice looking interested during countless presentations, and master the art of making any topic sound academically important by adding the phrase socioeconomic implications.